We are here at Great Lakes Yard with Meegan Czop. Meegan, we've worked with you in the past, but Great Lakes Yard is a whole new venture for you.
We're a company that focuses on reclaimed lumber and salvage, all sourced throughout the Great Lakes regions.
Meegan, you have a creative woodworking project today.
Today we're going to be making triangular shelves, which you can use for storage or as a design element.
And we're going to be putting these in the bathroom today.
Yes.
This sounds like a really cool project, but before we get started, what are some of the tools and supplies we need for this?
So we're going to need some 1x4 pieces of wood. This would be some that is reclaimed. It was old siding off of a 1920s home. And this you could find in any hardware store. It's 1x4 trim.
To tackle this woodworking project, we'll need some power tools. A miter saw, sander, a finish nailer. We'll also use some wood glue, poly spray, a tape measure, a pencil, and some safety gear.
Obviously, the first step is picking out the lumber, which you were nice enough to do for us already. So we got that step down. What is the second step of this project?
The second step is going to be cutting it to size. So we're going to do some 30-degree angle cuts on the saw, and then we'll dry fit it together. Once we see that our measurements are correct. So now we have a fresh cut, and we can kind of decide how long we want it to be, and then we can mark there. I think 16 inches will be good. So the big thing is we just want to get our one board cut, and we can use it as a template for the other ones. That way we're sure we're getting an exact measurement each time and that they're all the same. I'm going to set it so the edge of the blade is going to the back of my mark. That way the outside will be 16. Now we have our first one, and we can kind of use this as a template for the next ones.
We measure, then make a cut, measure again, and cut again until all three boards are equal to make our triangle.
Okay, so now we have our pieces, and we're gonna kind of just make sure everything lines up. It's kind of like folding a box. One is gonna be on the outside, the next one's gonna be on the inside. So this is what we're gonna have.
Looks pretty good to me.
So now that we've dry fit our pieces, it's best to give them a light sanding before we assemble it because it's going to be hard to get in the groove of a triangle.
Absolutely.
We sand down the wood enough to not get a splinter, but still see the character. Next, it's time to assemble the triangle.
So we're going to set our first angle. We're going to put a thin layer of glue, and then we're going to hold it together, and we've got our first piece.
We keep turning the triangle until all of the angles are glued together, double checking all of the cuts and measurements we've made.
The one thing to know when you put your last one on, you want to glue both of the sides because it's going to be a lot harder once this is nailed in to get that glue over there.
Now we're going to reinforce the glue with some nails. Definitely be careful with this tool. The wood is thin, so make sure your fingers are out of the line of the nail.
So I'm gonna have you hold this, and this is what you want to keep flat. So hold with your thumb, you can hold it down here, and then go ahead and shoot. Stay pretty straight because you don't want it shooting through the back.
This is straight up powerful
Move your
one.
thumb.
Yes, no casualties. Our triangle is looking really good. Instead of painting our shelf, I want to let Meegan's reclaimed wood shine. We're going to seal it with a coat of fast-drying polyurethane spray and let it dry for an hour. We hang our shelf on the existing nail, but yours may need a little extra support depending on your wall material.
All right, Meegan, we got our triangle shelf hung. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it can fit pretty much any little things you need for the bathroom with a couple cool accessories.
And you could actually make multiple ones of these. You could make them different sizes, really just customize the wall.
Not including the tools, the materials alone, you're gonna be under $10.
You cannot buy a shelf like this at a store for 10 bucks.
We've got to use a lot of tools on this project, which makes it pretty advanced. But even taking it slow, you can finish a shelf in about an hour. This creative woodworking project is the perfect DIY to create more storage in your bathroom. Shh.